These are the new Shakespeare Devil's Own Hellfire Shads. They come in 2 sizes and 4 fantastic colours. I'll take you through those now. The first colour is Striper, Ocean Blue, Red Tail and Pearl White. All of these Devil's Own Hellfire Shads come ready rigged, weighted, with a hook in, ready to fish. You'll notice the large paddle tail here. This is what gives the vibratory action that really entices those fish to hit hard. They're also a very, very tough rubber, so you've got no worries about the first bite, taking the tail off your lure and rendering it useless. All of the Devil's Own lures come in our resealable foil packs. This means that you can remove a lure, fish with it, replace it in the shaped retainer and keep it in perfect condition for the next time you go. These shads form a small part in a large range of new rubber baits under the Devil's Own brand. These ones are particularly suited to the freshwater fishing for predatory species such as pike, perch, zander, chub, but also they have a fantastic application for saltwater. What I'd like to do is pass you over to our sea fishing consultant Mike Thrussell to take you through that.
These are the Devil's Own soft shads. These come in 2 sizes, 10 centimetres and 14 centimetres. What's important about these is that these are weighted shads, so they can be cast without any other weight from the shore when you're working for bass and also for pollock, but you can also use them off the boat. They're particularly effective off the boat when used on jumper rigs. What's important about these lures is that they're see-through, and that for some reason the fish do seem to like a see-through lure. You do seem to be catching more fish with a material that's see-through than you do with a dense colour. Also, the quality of the hooks is really tough. These are capable of catching really big fish. Here's how to rig one of the Devil's Own soft shads. Start with a swivel, about a size 4 rolling swivel is perfect, and then you want about 18 inches of 50 to 60 pound clear mono. Slide the mono through a hollow boom, and then with the line coming through the boom, slide on a bead and tie on another size 4 rolling swivel. And from that swivel you want about 5 feet of 60 pound mono, and then you tie on the shad. Now obviously when you've tied the boom to your main line, the way you fish this is that you release the lead to the bottom, feel the lead bump bottom. Remember you've got 5 feet of hook trace between the boom and the lure, so you wind up about 7 feet to make sure that the lure's up off the bottom, and then gently just jig, just with the wrist movement, that's all. And that makes this lure do that. And it's that is the killing action. It will take cod, ling, pollock and coalfish. In the Devil's Own range there are also some unweighted shads. These come in a variety of colours, but they're very pliable, but very, very tough. In fact, these have been tested to a pull of 1 kilo. So that means that big predatory fish that pull on the tail are not going to pull the tail off. These are particularly resilient and tough lures. But how these should also be fished is on a lead head. And I'll quickly demonstrate how you rig these on a lead head. You hold the lead head with the eyes facing towards the right and the back of the lure facing towards the eyes. Slide it in and just feed it around the shank of the hook, giving it just enough room to come out, be fed up the shank behind the lead head to give you perfect presentation. And it's a really effective lure, both cast individually but also on the suggested flying collar and jumper rigs with light lead heads between 1/2 ounce and 2 ounces. When fishing for big wrecked cod, coalfish and pollock, I choose the Devil's Own Hellfire worm. This is a sand eel imitator with a contrasting coloured tail to give the pollock or other predatory fish a specific target to hit as it takes the lure. These can be fished on flying collar rigs with long traces. How do you rig them? Very simple. Take the hook, feed it into the nose of the lure, feed the hook down through the worm, giving just enough length that when you pull it through, when the hook's pulled through underneath, you literally cover the whole hook shank, but the lure sits nice and straight. That's the perfect presentation for fishing these Hellfire worms. The Devil's Own squid lures, some people would call them muppets, are a good lure in their own right, worked sink and draw or jigged up and down close to the seabed, or they can be used in a tractor when slid over a whole mackerel or herring bait when targeting conger and big cod. They come in 2 different sizes, 4-inch and 6-inch, and in a range of colours. They're good for cod, coalfish, ling, pollock and many other species. This is how I tie the Devil's Own squid lures. I like to fish one above the other on a tandem rig, and I do that by having 2 hook traces coming off the main rig. The hook traces need to only be about 12 inches long, no more. The quick way to rig is to just snip the nose off the squid, slide the squid onto the hook trace, then slide on an 8mm bead and then tie on the hook, usually a 6/0 or an 8/0 depending on the size of the squid. And what that does is the bead actually fits up inside the nose of the squid and keeps everything pulling in one straight line. It's a nice neat way to present the squid to the fish.